All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to coronavirus update number 16. It is approximately 6:07 p.m. right here on the East Coast in the great state of New Jersey. So we're going to give people a couple of minutes to go ahead and join. I tried to prepare something for this evening's live stream. However, it just completely went south, and it went south very quickly. I'm gonna try and adjust the light in here because I to tell you the truth, guys, I really don't want this lamp on, so I'm gonna try and work on my window a little bit. So please do bear with me. I want to try and get some light in here, so it's not totally like dark. Okay, that's fine. I think it's more than okay as long as there's light that's in here. I'd rather have natural light rather than wasting actual lamps and stuff. So yeah, hello Garden State Elevators, how are you? And hello Mohammed Sonic Boom, how are you? So yeah, I had a whole Kahoot planned, but then I realized, oh, I gotta pay $10 a month, and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. Eventually, guys, let's take it one step at a time. But yeah, cases continue to fall rapidly in New York and New Jersey. The graphs are updated today. I don't even want to look at them. They completely backtracked the progress we made, and honestly it's just not worth looking at them at this point, unfortunately. So any updates I can give, unfortunately, as of today, Governor Phil Murphy has officially announced that New Jersey schools would remain closed for the rest of the academic year. I think the reason why he did it was not only because of the health and science standings, but also a lot of the lobbying. You had all the NJ educators that lobbied and told Governor Murphy, listen, keep the schools closed for the rest of the academic year. Unfortunately, I knew it was going to come after New York pulled the trigger, and I knew New Jersey was going to make the announcement right there and now. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. It really does truly suck for any seniors that are graduating this year, but it is the necessary decision I believe that had to be made due to with everything that's going on. Um, the good news is I'm in a situation where I actually hate my school, so it's a benefit to me, but it stinks I can't even go to a mall right now. And I don't have an answer about Smith Haven. I don't have any answers about any malls right now. I would like to get through the next couple of weeks of college, and maybe by the middle of May, I will have a better understanding of where we are standing with malls. I don't have the genuine answer right now, unfortunately. Really, a power outage. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Hey, Transportation 930, how are you? I did see the Blue Angels. I did. It was a very nice tribute to the people that are on the front lines. Yeah, Aaron, I heard yeah, you what's it called? They closed the schools for the rest of the year. Are you gonna show the new data? Not really. I mean, I don't have I don't have a need to do so. Hmm. I mean, I'm really disgusted that the way that they did the data. I mean, it is just not accurate enough. I mean, come on, like really. So, I mean, I think that's what we have to start doing because people are really going to suffer. But I think the process has already begun. That's the parks was the first step. The second step will come in 2 weeks. So it's all part of a slow and gradual easing back into reality. I just found out today that I'm actually going up to my university the day after my semester ends to go get all the crap out of my dorm. So it's good signs. It's signs like that you have to look for. Now, it stinks that my friends aren't going to be able to have a proper prom, nor are they going to be able to have a proper graduation. It could all very well change, and they could make an exception for the class of 2020. I don't know. We're not there just yet. They could make an exception. I don't know what's going to happen. Um, but the data that I just got today is just like, come on, man. Like, we have made so much progress, and this website wants to throw us with this. I don't want to show it because it's just like, come on, really? You're gonna really slap that in their faces? No, I don't think so. That would be interesting, but Make Eric is going to be usually uses the cheapest bidder. Yeah, I don't think American Dream is going to have all of its parks opened up until the fall. To tell you the truth, I mean, there's no point to open it up in the middle of the summer. That's a huge waste. I think they should really cash in on the 2020 holiday traffic, even if there is traffic, depending on how this whole thing with the virus goes. Um, I think the second step is going to be retail and non-essential businesses. So it's going to be a very gradual step-by-step process. But I think if we stick to the guidelines, we stick to the things that we're doing, people are going to parks while practicing social distancing, we're taking the necessary steps to start reopening. Remember, it's not going to be the flip of a switch. And I wish I could say that to every one of you on here right now. Personally, I wish it was the flip of a switch, but it's going to be a gradual process that is going to happen over a period of time. Depends on how much the town pays for an elevator company. XL gets into a lot of malls that they just want the cheapest bidder. It's kind of like Neiman Marcus almost, and Neiman Marcus is another company that's really struggling. They they wanted to do the elevators. They wanted to modernize the elevators at what's it called? I'm getting a whole bunch of notifications right now. My apologies, guys. As you guys know, I'm finishing up my spring semester next week, so I just have to message everybody. But yeah, XL goes for they do the jobs quick, cheap, and easy. So like they did it at White Plains, they had Paramus, Short Hills, all XL. So we've already taken the first step with the parks. Um, Now we're on the second step, which is, I mean, not yet, but we're almost into the second step where we can start opening up non-essential care businesses. I would say within the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I need a haircut badly. I'm going whenever they say the haircut places are allowed to open. I want the first appointment. I will get up at 6 if I have to. I will literally grab the first appointment. So, oh, nice. Yeah, I saw them very briefly from my window, but they were cool. They were very cool. Well, I think Cuomo's going to have to change his tone. Look, and you know, politics aside, I get it. He wants to open up New York, but I think it should be as a whole. I think the fact that he said that he's going to start with upstate. So you're telling me he's going to single out everybody else. Like if you're in the New York metropolitan area, excluding New York City, you're out of luck. I'm talking about like the suburbs. I get New York City. I get it. They need a little bit more time. But you can't just single out the suburbs. Like I think they should really start on May 15th with not just upstate. Like that's just an insult. So what, people are not going to go back to work? Like why? May 15th, May 15th, things have to start opening up again. That's the bottom line. I don't care what someone says. And I get it. People are still dying of this virus, but people have to get back to work. Kids might not have to go back to school this year, but parents have to get back to work. People have to make a living. People have to put food on their tables. That's, you know, people need to make a living. They need to pay for their kids' benefits. They have to pay for, you know, for their families, to support their families. We can only take so much of this. And we have to put our foot down, and we have to say it's time to get back to work. It doesn't matter sometimes. I get it. This virus is deadly. I've never experienced this before. You guys have never experienced this before. But at some point, we got to put our foot down, and people have to get back to work. That's it. I don't care. You know, People have to go back to retail stores by the end of this month. You know, Eh, you know, what are they going to do in June? And then they're going to, and then the governor's going to be like, oh, we're going to just extend it to another month. Look, I appreciate Governor Cuomo's you know, direction in the way that this virus went. I appreciate him guiding not just the state of New York and not just the state of New Jersey and not just the Northeast, but the nation as a whole. But at some point, we have to say, listen, thank you, Cuomo. You did what you needed to do. We stayed in our houses for the month of April. Now we have to get back to work. We did what we needed to do. We flattened the curve. The number of coronavirus cases is going down. People have to start getting back to work. That's it. There's no let's push it another week, let's push it another 2 weeks. We have to start thinking now. I think opening up the parks was the first step in the 6 to 7 step process that's going to be happening over the next 6 to 8 weeks. But we have to start opening up, people. We are going to suffer a Great Depression if we don't start opening up now. And you could totally disagree with me and say, Chris, there's people dying. That's the infection rate is going down. They've closed the field hospitals. The USS Comfort had left the New York harbor. Uh, you know, there's only so much of this people can take, and I think it is. I strongly suggest that people start thinking about getting back to work soon. Yeah, and summer is now in jeopardy. Summer is now in jeopardy of once again, guys, I'm reading messages. Take a look at that later. So, you know, the bottom line is May 15th, no other extensions, no nothing else. And with him saying upstate, that is an insult, literally, to the people, to the small businesses in our area. I get New York City, but it shouldn't affect the suburbs. They should at least ease some restrictions, not to extent of the upstate, but start easing some restrictions as well as what's it called? Other parts. I think Pennsylvania, I think they're going to do a smart approach, but they should ease fewer restrictions in areas that are much closer. By the way, it's slowly speeding up again. I don't know. What do you mean by that, speeding up again? Summer Property Group never cares about the mall at the source in Westbury, New York. Yeah, because Roosevelt Field was like 2 minutes west. Why would they invest in a crappy mall when they have a premier property not even that far away? Our county had no new cases today. Yeah, I wish I could say the same for where I live, but yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think museums are going to open up for a while, honestly. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I wouldn't say fall. Definitely at some point in the summer, I think. Anyways, all right. So, I mean, I guess I should show the data. You guys are really not gonna like this. They, I don't know yet where I'm going this summer. I haven't really thought about it yet. It's gonna depend on what happens with COVID and everything. Hopefully, this madness will be done. So you guys are not going to like this, and I can already see people in the comments. So, yeah. Well, this is just the country. I think Virginia still has a long way to go. Yeah, this is all the new stuff that they did for education facilities, stay-at-home orders. I'm surprised they waited that long for a stay-at-home order in Virginia. Yeah, yeah, damn, wow. Well, the good news is Virginia really didn't get hit hard. Yeah, New Jersey got hit hard though. Oh man, damn. Yeah, that's a big ouch right there. Definitely a slap in the face. An absolute slap in the face. Yeah, but hopefully it'll continue to go down. I know. Wow, 118 deaths. Well, hopefully by then, at least there'll be enough testing and they can at least start opening up stuff again. Because I mean, that's like the whole summer for just it to go down, and then it's going to go back up again. New York is definitely dropping significantly. They're going to be finished, I would say, by June. Yeah, but I think with the 65 deaths, I think by then at least it'll be controlled. Yeah. This was their where their worst day was, and then yeah, I mean, like I said, this data isn't 100% accurate. So, what's it called? Yeah, I know, 2 years ago. Um, like I said, this data isn't accurate. I think that people get data wrong all the time. Like Governor Phil Murphy. So I would expect a spike in the number of deaths tomorrow for New Jersey and New York a little bit, but it is going down. So it definitely is. I personally don't want to keep going through this chart, and I mean, the District of Columbia, the death rate isn't too bad. It still kind of sucks though that there's all this craziness with the virus. So yeah, it's just I mean I don't know, guys. It's this whole thing. First of all, to be told at school, by the way, don't come back. Excuse me. I mean, the good news is at least today I was able to register online to go get my stuff, and I'm going at a pretty early time. So, I mean, I hope by then that by the halfway through this month we can put this madness behind us. I mean, personally, I really hope that they come up with some kind of drug or vaccine to at least control it. You know, I'm not saying people aren't going to social distance, but it's just like getting hit by a meteor. You know. Hey, Matt, how are you, man? The number of cases continue to drop in New Jersey and New York, especially. They just announced today that New Jersey schools are going to be closed for the rest of the academic year. I mean, it made sense because, for students to go back, and I think, they don't have the whole social distancing thing figured out. It makes a lot of sense, unfortunately. And I do hate to say that, but yeah, that's all right, man. It's fine. Honestly, I've been doing school and I got out this weekend because, it was really nice out. So it's nice to be on here. So yeah. Yeah, New Jersey's closed too. My college, I mean, I personally don't really care because I mean I'm leaving there, but yeah. So yeah, I mean I think schools are gonna have to be reimagined next year. I mean, I think there's gonna be a 6 foot distance. It's gonna be interesting. But at least now it gives educators time to figure out a plan for fall. So that's the most important thing. At least now they have a decent timeline where, okay, we can look at this over the summer and we can figure out, how to reconfigure schools and how kids can go in and go out without, not being a hazard or breaking social distancing guidelines. So I think, social distancing will be the norm, I think, when fall comes around. But I think there'll be some kind of vaccine available to everybody by early next year, and even if we're lucky, the end of this year, if we're lucky. But I could say the fastest would be by the beginning of next year. So yeah. Oh yeah, no. Definitely. I mean, I agree. Definitely. I don't know when it's going to end, but probably not anytime soon. So yeah, yeah. No, you'll be good. You'll definitely be good by August. Definitely. That I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I personally would like this whole thing to be past us by maybe mid-May, early June, honestly. I mean, I get giving up April, but I am not giving up May. So, I would love for May to be the transition month where people start easing back to that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna depend on the store, I guess. They'll I'm sure they'll have a sign outside. Simon Malls, it's actually optional to wear a mask. Like you don't have to wear a mask, but I'm sure in like theme parks it'll probably be mandatory. I'm sure, at certain places it will be to stop the spread, I guess. Will there be a second wave as bad as this? I don't think so. I think this is a once in a lifetime thing where, okay, we screwed up. How can we make sure that this never happens again? Oh, Simon Walls actually did pull something out, Matt. In elevators, it's now 4 people per elevator cab. But I mean, I typically go in the morning, so that really doesn't affect me like in the middle of the day. But yeah, Simon did do something where it's 4 people per elevator cab, which makes sense. Yeah. I mean, maybe it depends on the cab size and how many people they can fit 6 feet wide. But yeah, that's, or maybe it's, it's maybe per family. I don't know. I don't even know how that would work. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So, yeah. So, I don't know about South Florida malls. Yeah, it's potential. It's definitely. I mean, I think that's plenty of time, honestly. You know, I think Mississippi could be done even earlier because they didn't get as hard hit. Damn coronavirus. Yeah, man, we're all stuck in the same boat, but we got to make the best of it. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, I get that regional approach, and I guess they're doing it as a precaution. But even then, I just think it's not fair that people in inner cities are getting what's it called? Uh damn. Um More affected. Well, okay. Yeah, I mean the Communist Party in China is just god awful. And the Wuhan lab accident and of course the World Health Organization. It's you know, they're all just terrible. They're absolutely terrible. But that's my opinion. I mean, I think it's going to end starting in May because states are going to start easing restrictions. So May is going to be that transition month, and we could see very good things in early, mid, late June. Like all of June, we're going to see a lot of good things. But May is going to be the transition month. April was the month where everyone had to stay the fuck inside. So yeah, I miss Ricky too. I actually saw him yesterday and the day before. But yeah, well, China is where I mean, China is where the disease started. And the wet shops. Yeah, the wet shops, the Wuhan lab, all those conspiracy theories. Um, I mean, I wouldn't blame all of China, but China really did cause something and lobby to the World Health Organization, which is just like that like they pretty much threaten the entire world. Like that's sad, honestly, in my opinion. Well, I think that's because of depending on coronavirus cases. So I think that's why they're doing that. Yeah, I bet so. Yeah, and the wet market too. I think so too. This is, I mean, I really hope this never happens again because this was just a absolute disaster. I mean, thank God I graduated high school last year, but man, if it's like this for the next 2 years, I'm better off just doing community college. Honestly, I wouldn't even think about going to a 4 year university. I mean, it sucks. That's the reality of it, but this might be the best way to get to do school while the world is in crisis. So, well, it's not it's no longer the 30 days to slow the spread. Now it's in the governor's hands. The federal government no longer has the 30 days to slow the spread. That expired on April 30th, this last Thursday. So now it's not the federal government. The federal government is still involved, but some states have started to ease restrictions. The only one that I think went a little bit too far, I think, had to be Georgia, but at least, you know what? Even with Georgia going a little bit too far, at least some state has a model ready for us so that right away we can start opening up malls. Yes, Georgia went too far too quickly, but it's a good model for the rest of the country to eventually follow, which is a good thing. I think some state had to start it, and I guess Georgia was just eager to start it. I don't know. I do remember Hey Arnold, but I have never watched it that much. So, wow, a lot of people are on tonight. Yeah. Um, oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, now it's just up to the governors to make the decisions at this point, which makes sense to me. So, yeah. I wouldn't call it a bad. I just think the WHO pretty much oh, no, no, no. I'm saying we can learn from their mistakes and we can have a model that's much better. But at least it shows that we can take these precautions, but how do we take Georgia's precautions and enhance them to be much better than what Georgia did? It's groundwork to get running so that when the time comes, we can take some of what they did and combine it with our good stuff and make a model that's even better. There's logistics behind it. So you take a not so great model and you take our model, combine it together, and then you got the model for the rest of the country to follow. But you're right; it probably is not the best model, but it's something. It's better than nothing, honestly. But yeah, I heard Macy's is going to be opening up their stores, all of their stores, in 6 to 8 weeks. That's a reality. I could see that happening. And then I think the ones that are liquidating are just going to go right into liquidation at that point. But yeah, wow, there's a lot of people on here. Oh, man, the last thing I want to do right now. But yeah. Oh, I don't know. They haven't announced that yet. The process of reopening takes 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable time. You really should get out more. Like, seriously. Hopefully. Hopefully. I'd love to try and get out there at some point, you know. Be nice if that and like Hershey Park opened up in like mid late June. That would be nice, honestly, but I don't know. I think it's just it could be it's you know, it's thinking big, but I don't know. You know, I think I'm just very optimistic to get out. So yeah. Matt, I think you're spelling June wrong. Just I mean, you probably seeing that, but yeah. Wow, there's a lot of you on here tonight or today rather. I don't even know. I don't even know what day it is anymore. honestly. Oh, so much hair. I need a haircut so badly. This sucks, man. This really sucks. Like staying home. This really sucks. Staying home. Monday. Yeah, it is Monday. May the fourth be with you. Yeah. Thank you. Well, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars, but yeah, it is the May the fourth be with you. That's all right, man. No worries. Thanks. Yeah, that's probably a good way to sum it up, honestly. Because Macy's is like the main core anchor at malls. That probably gives you a pretty good timeline of when stores are going to reopen up. But at least now they can start putting their plans in place so that when the time comes, they're just ready to open up right away. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I could see Macy's opening up early. I don't know, mid May to mid June, I think, and then Hershey mid June to early July if we're lucky. Maybe early June if everything goes well right now. But I think if we practice what we're doing, we might have a shot. It's not a guaranteed, but if we can do what's right, we have a shot at making it right. No, I have not watched Star Wars. I'm getting so many notifications right now. Macy's Harrisburg, I think, will be late May. Yeah, yeah, I think so. And I think Hershey could very well be early mid June if all goes accordingly. I can see Sears never reopening again. I think they will because ultimately they're going to have to reopen up to liquidate their thing. I believe though that their reopening day was delayed by a month, so they're furloughing their employees for another month to stay home. So I think they're going to open up, and then I think they're going to just pull the trigger at that point. I mean, to tell you the truth, there's only three Sears and Roebuck stores left in New Jersey: Rockaway, Town Square, Newport Center, and Hackensack. So it's only a matter of time before they pull the trigger and cease operation. Same with Kmart; they're going to go too. Yeah, I could see Macy's opening up in late May. I mean, I'm looking at a couple of dates for Smith Haven. I haven't made a formal decision yet. Whenever they make a statement and they announce that malls are going to reopen, and I got to be careful too of what stores specifically. What I'm hoping for is that the malls that are opening up right now and the stores opening up, hopefully it'll all be at once. That would just be beautiful because I'd be spending a lot of money out there just to go there. So yeah. Yeah, the closest Sears to me is located in downtown Hackensack, New Jersey. It's actually the last freestanding Sears and Roebuck store in the state of New Jersey, and the last three-level one too. So it's a three-level freestanding store in the state of New Jersey, which is incredible. But it's not going to be there for much longer. Definitely would like to document it when it does go out because it's a historical piece of Bergen County retail history. But yeah, oh, oh, I'm just happy that I'm almost done with school. Thank God. And then the next day after my semester ends, I get to go and get my crap, which is great. Oh, nice, nice. Ugh. I think in 1920 something. Me too, man. You're not alone. You are definitely not alone. I am getting tired of this virus. Thank God they reopened up state parks, though. I'll give the governor credit, and people are practicing social distancing. So hopefully, in the next 2 weeks, we can start to see personal care businesses open. I think it'll be a gradual process, and then they'll just have to practice social distancing at that point. But man, when they do open up, I want the first appointment and the first haircut. So yeah. Yeah, I'd say at some point. But yeah. All right, guys. So I'm gonna end this stream a little bit early today. Yeah, I know. I don't really have much else to talk about. I really don't want to go over the data. But they will be reopened up soon, I think. Maybe I do want to try the freights. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this live stream because I don't know. It's just I'm tired and I don't know. I want to relax, but I have nothing else to talk about. So, anyways, guys, we will see you very soon. Hope everybody has a great week. For anybody living in the tri-state area, make sure you're doing your academics and homework. I know it was just announced today New Jersey is closed for the rest of the academic year, but keep your hopes up high, and just maybe you might have some graduation ceremony. Yeah, Corona beer. I'll bring this up quickly to end on a high note. The Corona Extra beer stops production because of the coronavirus. How funny is that? That's actually a real thing. Look it up after this stream. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching, and we will see you next time. That will be it.